When considering what I was going to do for this project, I had several ideas. I wanted to do something with reading, or maybe something else even more unspecific. I realized that wasn't right. I have no knowledge and no experience with volunteering in the community. I needed to speak to people who understood the problem and understood the solution before I took any action. I settled on working with IHS. I talked with them and decided on going with the outreach team on Monday morning. I left the house at 4:40 a.m. heading for IHS. I met up with Jason and Curtis when I got there, and we immediately set out to work. I found out that work meant talking to just about everyone we saw on our 2-hour walk. We passed countless homeless people, all of them just waking up from a night's sleep. A common question that was asked was, "Where did you sleep last night?" and "How are you doing?" It was raining most of the time we were out there. We had to go on regardless. Our job was to pass out flyers after we introduced ourselves. The flyers included information on Hale Mauliola, the new transitional housing that was just built by IHS. We gave them information on what was needed to get in and how to apply. During our time walking around, Jason found some homeless people he knew who were willing to do an interview with me. For privacy reasons, I cannot show you the full interview, but I can show a few clips. This is David and Marilyn.
I've been, well, I'm doing okay. I've heard. Again, we both have income from retirement and SSI and all that. And we've been reading all about housing first and this, that, and the other. And trying to utilize that waiting list. Okay. There's a lot of waiting. You know, when you're a couple, it's harder. It's the next step.
Right.
And they said, a little longer wait. But individual, you know, it's like, we're inseparable right now, not really. Well, we have income, that's the thing. It's like, that's not a barrier. We're okay.
Right.
We're not going to starve.
While we were walking away, I heard David say to Marilyn, "Well, that was a good way to start the week." I'm glad I was able to be there with the outreach team and make a difference. I later would have a conversation which I couldn't film with a different woman. I handed her the flyer, and she seemed genuinely interested. I told her about the requirements and how to apply. She said to me, "I've been looking for something like this." Both she and the couple were just trying to get off the streets. They just needed someone to point them in the right direction. That was the outreach team, and for today, it was me as well. While I wasn't able to get an interview with Curtis, I was able to interview Jason. He is a member of the outreach team located at this facility. He's out on the streets working most days of the week, and really had a lot of insight on the issue.
It really depends, I think, on the effectiveness of the team. If you experienced today when we were out there, almost everybody I knew by name.
Right.
Rarely did I respond to them and say, "Hey, what is your name?" I usually said the first name to them. And you also saw me target people. Like, we're looking for Christina. When we have relationships with people and we're trying to build a relationship, we're trying to establish trust. And I'm like, "Hey, you, come here, you." There's no personalization to that. But when I say, "Hey, you know, Christina, come. I want to talk to you." You know, when I say, "Hey, John, I want to talk to you." Right? You know, I myself was homeless for a long time, and I worked my way out of it. And so how did I work my way out? The duplication of process. You know, how did I get out of that situation? How would I want to be talked to if I was homeless, you know?
The question I was asking was, how can I, and by extension anyone in my position, help with homelessness here in Hawaii? Residents here know how visible of a problem it is, but few of us know how to do anything about it. I found out today that it is as easy as volunteering. Yes, giving a few dollars to the homeless person who frequents your street makes you feel better, but the real way to make a change is to volunteer at a shelter nearby. I helped the outreach team today. I was able to give many people the flyer highlighting the Sand Island transitional homes. The one woman I talked about earlier was eager to hear more about what the facility was. These personal connections through the shelter. Help to show that the shelter is a safe place. I know that I will be going back to IHS to volunteer again, and I hope that others will join me. To finish my project, here's Josh, someone who is unbelievably positive and who helped to get me in contact with Jason.
So we need to stop hating on people, stop being disrespectful to those who have had a difficult time, find that love and compassion for those who are in addiction and who are in cycles of homelessness. Find the love and compassion for those who are being released from prison, who are sexual offenders. Find the love and compassion for community members that have made mistakes.
I learned more than I could have hoped from this project. Curtis and Jason taught me so much in such a short time. For example, Jason spotted someone who needed medical care just from their socks. Curtis had amazing stories on how to deal with people and how to be responsible for oneself. This project showed me just how easy it was to help out in my community. My only regret is not having more time. If I had known that this was going to be my final project before, I could have gone out a few more times to get better footage. I know I will be going out with them again in the future. I can only hope that I can continue to make an impact on people's lives as often as I can. Thank you for watching.